Vivian Speaking more about city life.
关注房子，关注城市，更关注生活。
I will see you every Wednesday night.
国际生活家直播采访秀 Vivian Speaking， 每周3晚7点半，不见不散。
In China, it's very important to be humble. Because you see, Mama Humble or Nani.
You know a lot of Chinese.
Not at all. You never say, I'm the greatest. You always say, no. But it seems to be something to learn in China, to be very, normal. But China's been great, you mentioned the BBC.
Yeah.
Great, Vivian. That was a long time, 1981, I started with Radio Scotland, a young boy, I'd hair, and I was just talking about travel, talking about climbing mountains, and talking about the beauty of one country. I never ever thought I would end up coming to China.
Oh, you never did?
No.
Okay. So before we start our topic, and let's move to Suri, and she's gonna do the Chinese part tonight.
Hello， 大家好，我是苏瑞，很高兴跟大家见面了。然后今天我们的主题是呢，老布在天津。说到我们今天这个嘉宾呢，真的是有很多头衔。不过刚才大家听他的自我介绍，确实是很谦虚。不过现在呢，我还是要跟大家强调一下他的头衔。他呢以前曾经担任过 BBC 苏格兰广播电台的撰稿人，后来呢来到了中国，一直就是担任China Daily 的一个特约撰稿人。同时呢，他在北京期间，就是2004年间到2016年间这12年呢，一直在北京人民广播电台担任了老布在北京这个栏目的主播。所以说呢，他也是一位很有名的主播。那么今天这两位主播的碰撞又能擦出什么样的火花呢？那让我们赶紧进入今天的 Vivian Speaking 吧。
Welcome back to our topic, and the most interesting part, Bruce, is you from Scotland. There's a very, there's a song which is very familiar for us, and the song's name we call it 友谊地久天长. So can you hear that? What is the name in Scotland?
In Scotland, it's called Auld Lang Syne. Usually, you sing that at the end of the year, the 31 of December. Or when we have, for example, in Beijing, we have a Robert Burns night. Because the poet, the person who composed this song, was a very famous Scottish poet in the 18th century called Robert Burns. And this is one of Scotland's exports to the world. And I remember, Vivian, when I first came to China in 1987, I was from the train from Beijing to Guangzhou, and on the train I had
Oh, you heard that, right? Wow.
I thought, great, that's Scottish music playing on the Chinese train. Those days, it was the old green trains, 2 days to Guangzhou.
Okay, I think that this song is a gift from the Scotland for our Chinese people.
Well, China and Scotland have a lot in common. We love being friends.
Yes?
We like to be Hongyo. And Scotland has long been friends with China. It still is. We have great, buddies, great fun. Many Chinese go to Scotland, they study in Scotland, they love to see the men with the skirt. You remember this?
Yeah. Actually, that is called cute.
Cute,
Okay. Yeah, we will talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And beside the song, and there's another very famous Scottish in Tianjin. You know his name?
Well, it's Eric Liddell. I don't know how you say it in Chinese. Eric Liddell.
Li Ruike.
Right. Now, here's the question. Is he Scottish or is he Chinese? This is very important because he was born in Tianjin.
Yeah, he was born in Tianjin.
And sadly he died in Shandong in 1945. Very sad story about that part of his life. But he won in 1924, he won the 400-metre Olympic race in Paris. Now, he was born in Tianjin, he went to study in Scotland at Edinburgh University.
Yes.
He was a great runner, but for Chinese people say he was the first Olympic gold medal winner for China.
Oh, Okay, we thought that because he was born in China, right?
He was Tianjin,
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
very much, his heart was in Tianjin. And yesterday, Vivian, I went a walk to a beautiful area in Tianjin.
See the picture? We have found that one.
Right. You know the area, Wudadao?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, there on Chongqing Road, I found his house. His house is still there.
Okay.
The area Little lived in.
All right. Yeah. So actually, we found photos, right? That is Chongqing Dao and number 38.
That's it. That's it. Central Park. I was here
Yeah.
yesterday. Took photographs of it.
Yesterday?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Yes, it's very interesting.
That's right. Number 38. I stood there and I smiled and I thought, a famous Scot in Tianjin, a Scot finding a Scottish. Here I am, a Scottish man finding a famous Scottish man in Tianjin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move to Suri again, and she's gonna talk about Eric Lee and some Scottish song. Suri.
Hello，刚才呢，我们的嘉宾呢和我们的 Vivian 提到了一个李艾瑞的故事。他呢是一位出生在天津的一个苏格兰短跑名将，还得过一个奥运会冠军，同时呢也是一位优秀的教育家，在天津的一所中学里呢也当了20年的一个教师，同时呢还参加过一些抗日活动，也是救治过一些抗日战士。然后现在呢我会放一些关于他有一个很有名的电影叫《火的战车》，现在呢我放一些片段给大家。
You know this movie, right?
Yeah, because there's two films based on his life. The first film was called Chariots of Fire, really about the Olympic running. The second film was more about the continuation of his life in China, where he dedicated himself to, first of all, to Tianjin, and later on to poorer areas in Hebei.
Okay. All right. So let's move to another part of our show, and so you hear the song. This is Bruce in Beijing.
When I was
Okay,
into it,
and I
it wasn't to
listened to
best
this
taste.
episode
Some
of
of it,
your
it
show,
was an
and a
acquired
few days
taste.
ago,
I think the best
found
way
it
of
very
saying that. You
interesting.
found that, Amy?
You know, like what I do right now, you must have met lots of interesting people.
We certainly have, Vivian, you know, for 12 years I was doing this program in Bruce in Beijing.
Yes.
And it started off way back in 2004. What I was doing was simply introducing Beijing, talking to different parts of Beijing, the different areas. But later on, started on more interviewing people about why they come to China, doing business in China, about where they've travelled in China, about the relationship, whether it be talking to writers about business, often very high-level people were coming in, or you have great musicians, for example, the Sydney Symphony Orchestra from Sydney, Australia. They would come here to interview some of the musicians there, or sometimes we would go cycling. Like, for example, the Danish embassy, Denmark is very, very keen on cycling, and I would go with them on these cycle tours to have a look at Yanqing County, or Yanqing District in Beijing. People cycling, I'm cycling along, trying to talk on my way. Yeah.
It's gonna be so hard, right?
Well, it was very good. You know, the people we met, and you find that so many people come here who are very passionate about China.
Yeah.
You find a great kind of affection, but you also learn from people, for example, architects and urban planners, about the challenges, of China's development. How the country obviously is moving very, very fast.
Yes,
You
we
can see that
do.
even in Tianjin.
Yes.
And how does the country manage it? How do they do this? How do they develop this strategy of creating new cities, of creating the highways, of creating the high-speed trains? So I was interviewing people all about this, about how they saw the future for China, what was their contribution to this, and it was really, really fascinating. But eventually, Vivian, after 12 years, I actually mutually gave up.
sort of
Because
quiet area.
Why?
I wanted to travel
I think
and
they were known as
rediscover
the
China.
famous
Okay, you want to do this right
I
now.
wanted to travel.
But I still have a question. During this 12 years, and you have been seen so many interesting people. So, has there any story moved you most? Okay, leave you the most impression.
Well, I've been interviewing people. For example, I interviewed the head of UNICEF, the United Nations for the Children Fund in Beijing, and about the work that was being done to help the poor kids in the remoter parts of China. And she was talking to me about the work, the China government was doing, the work that UNICEF was doing together to try to provide education, to try to provide great services for the poor kids. Because, the thing is, Vivian, as you know, we here in Tianjin, we get Beijing, Shanghai, but China still, in the remoter areas, still has, poverty, which is being alleviated. It's a major priority. And it was very moving to hear the stories of the work being done between the government at national level, at local level. But there was also people involved in art, people involved in education, setting up ventures to provide schools. There were so many that I met. There was one man, Tim Clissold. Tim wrote books about doing business in China. And in the early days of opening up, doing business was very difficult if you're a foreigner. You thought there was 1.4 billion people, a huge market. But, how do you get into that market? How do you develop business?
Yes. Okay.
But also, I'm a photographer. Well, one of my great moments was interviewing a photographer who worked for 30 years at the National Geographic magazine. And his photography was based in China. I learned a lot from him.
Okay, what's his name?
Michael Yamashita, I think it was named like that.
Okay.
He was American, but he was based in New York, but his photography of China was fabulous.
Wow, yeah.
So I learned a lot. How do you... I'll tell you an example. He came away with a phrase. He says, if you want to create a photo, you want to create good photos, you create a page stopper.
A page
stopper.
Stopper?
Whereas people are looking through a book, you flick through a magazine, it's like, oh, wow, look at that photo.
A page of stopper.
Yeah.
It means that this photo makes you stop,
That's
right?
right.
Okay.
That's right. And you look at it.
Yeah, please show me his, photographer later. All right. Okay. And for this episode of Vivian Speaking, Bruce brings us lots of his photographers. So let's have a look. What is that? So this is Tianjin Eye.
Yeah, I was staying for a while up by this part of Tianjin. This is where the Grand Canal, very famous waterway in China, joined into the Haihe River. And this is what made Tianjin famous, because Tianjin's name actually refers to the Ford of Heaven, F-O-R-D, the Ford of Heaven.
Ford of Heaven.
Where the emperor stepped over the water, and he was so taken with this, he said, forever, this place will be called Tianjin, the Ford of Heaven, or I call it the Heavenly Ford. So this was...
Okay, that means Tianjin, that's close to heaven, right? It's
Well, it's a heavenly city for me.
Okay, so Bruce took a lot of photographs on Haihe, right? And the following, some of the following photographers took on Haihe River. So why you are so interested in that part?
This was round about the 1st of January this year. I was staying up near the temple, the temple up, by Dabeyang.
Okay.
I was staying up near that temple in a hotel there. From the window, I was looking down on the river, and the river's all frozen. And I saw these people sitting on the ice. What are they doing? So I took a big camera and I went down, and these men were sitting on the ice fishing. And they were cutting holes, they were sitting there.
So is that your first time to see the people fishing on the ice?
In Tianjin, yeah.
In Tianjin, okay.
And it was amazing to walk around and capture these people doing this and filming this. And the patience, all day they would sit there. And
All day?
All day.
Wow.
Or maybe all week. They would just, often they would come back there, sit there and fish. But what I found, Vivian, is at that time of the new year, I realised that one of the great things about Tianjin for photography is people photography. Because Tianjin is a living city.
Oh.
You walk around by, for example, the old cultural street, you get many people making the traditional Tianjin twisted breads, the pancakes,
Okay.
and all the steam rising up, and the people cooking, the food at the markets, and it's very, very, very much a live place. And when you go in with a big camera, you can get the images of the people.
Yeah, see the photo, right? That's the culture. What do you call it? The culture
You call it the
street.
ancient cultural street.
Asian culture street, right? Yeah.
But it was really, lovely to see this. There's another one you've got there where people are working at the market. But to me, this is very much old Tianjin. It's how do we keep the culture? How do we keep the traditions of the city while we're modernising? You go along with the Haihe River. It's beautiful. It's modern. It's great. But how does Tianjin keep its heritage?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. So I was finding that there, and I love to photograph.
Okay, that's why you focus on the fishing part on the Haihe River, right? So that's kind of a combination of the modernization and the Tianjin culture.
Yeah,
right?
Very much. As I say, Tianjin to me is a city. Well, we have a phrase back in my own city, Glasgow, and we had the phrase that people make Glasgow, right? People, Renmin, make Glasgow. To me, people make Tianjin.
Yes, people make Tianjin. This is a very, very good point. Yes. So Tianjin is very much of a kind of a living city, right?
Vivian, I noticed the last few days as I've been walking around Tianjin, there's still many people using bicycle.
Yes, we do the share, right? The share bicycle.
It was great. I was quite near Wudadao a few days ago, and I sat by this crossroads just with a camera, photographing the people going past on the bikes.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the China that I used to know. Just watching people going around, people sometimes cycling with the three-wheeler bicycles, and it was really, really nice.
Okay. Yes. So see these photos. What's next?
Well, this again is at the old cultural street, but people are, you can see the steam because it's midwinter, it's cold, and so as they're cooking, the steam is rising from these great circular, metal steamers.
Yeah, it's when you while you were describing, it seems like I can smell. I can smell. Yeah.
But also, can you hear the noise? The hissing, and all this, the frying, the sizzling. And I find it very fascinating.
Did you try any kind of the culture food?
Well, you tell me what I'm eating. What do you call it? The breads. The breads.
麻花, we call it 麻花. It's very interesting, and you call it twisted bread.
Twisted bread,
right?
yeah. And then also the big like pancake, the big flat bread.
Yes, it's 麻花is there.
And you're turning this over. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
The twisted bread. But you see how I'm doing this with my hands. This is what I'm watching. The people doing this, making the breads and pulling it over.
Oh, you see all the procedures of they're doing the twisted bread.
It would make very good video filming to be actually out there filming. I mean, I do still photography, but I thought, if you can imagine filming in these food streets, the people making the traditional Tianjin food, because I often feel as well, Vivian, not so many people in the outside world know about the old culture of Tianjin,
No.
the street foods and the old markets and so on all around the Gulo area and also around Wudadao, all these areas.
Yeah.
It's a city that there's a lot here to see.
Okay, so what about this photo?
again, we're at the market, the people with the food. But you see the steam, the steam rising,
Yes.
the hissing, you've taken me back. Tomorrow, I must go out with my camera tomorrow, Vivian, and do more photography of Tianjin.
Okay, tomorrow?
I must do,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it'll be Tianjin in summer weather.
Yeah, summer weather. Yeah, and on Friday it's gonna be 32.
Well, Beijing, Tianjin and Beijing now share this heat that hits northern China at this time of year, and the heat goes right through for many months.
And see, Bruce, and you also bring us some old photos. So when that is, yeah.
This was at the temple, Dabiyuan.
Dabiyuan.
When I went there, I was staying in a hotel quite near. This was 2004. Now, if I remember,
2004, so 14 years ago.
It was the springtime.
Ah.
Some of this was in February, some of it was in May of 2004. And I was photographing, going into the temple, and the people had these. It comes from a plant. Was it a hulu?
Hulu. Yeah.
And they make these. And what did they use to make for music or carrying water?
It depends. Somebody just use a hulu as to continue some waters, but somebody just use it as a decoration.
Now, see the photograph we have there. This photograph here. Again, this is quite near the Dabiyuan.
Yeah.
And
Wang Hai Lou.
that's right. Now look at that there. That was 2004. We're looking at a very traditional Tianjin. You've got the taxi, the famous Tianjin.
The red taxi, right? Xiali. Wow.
The pride and joy of Tianjin. This was Tianjin made the taxis that went all over China. And also the people on the bicycle. And you see there was a man taking photographs. He was talking to me. But there's the very, very famous heritage hotel, the Astor Hotel.
Okay.
That is possibly the oldest top-end hotel in China, going back to 1863.
Wow, that's has 155 years old right now.
Your arithmetic's better than mine. So, and in the hotel, they've got a museum that tells the history of Tianjin and the people who used to come here, live here. And because Tianjin, as we say, has got a long, long history.
Yes. Oh,
Well,
this is a 解放桥, 解放 bridge.
And Vivian, okay, what's the memory for you and me about that bridge?
Yes, we did a little video. So Suri, could you show us that little video? That's a very interesting part.
We stood on that bridge. There we are.
Yeah.
Bruce and Vivian on that bridge. Good grief. Look at me, almost like a teacher.
What I'm doing, I was just staring up in the sky. It seems like you are more familiar about Tianjin. You did describe everything to me.
But what we'll do, Vivian, I'll mention how, you see how I was using my hands, I'm still doing this. Vivian, did you see there in the film, I'm always going like this, I'm pointing.
Yeah.
That's because, it's just my kind of way of expressing. So even here in the studio, I'm still doing it, I'm still using the hands as a way of expressing. But we were on that bridge, I love that bridge.
Yes, my favorite bridge as well. It's at least has a 100. That bridge can open?
I've never seen this, Vivian.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's yes, it can open it.
I think that they do it at special occasions for the opening. But it's a very famous historic bridge. And for me, it's my link from the railway station, from Tianjin railway station, when I come across that bridge into the old city of Tianjin, down the Jiufengjie.
Yes.
Then I walk down that street and I feel I'm back in Tianjin.
So let's look back to the old photos. That is another one, right?
Well, we don't really see these anymore, but this is how the old people get taken around, and it was part of the not just Tianjin, but it was part of what you saw across China. In Chinese cities, when I first came here, the bicycles were still an important form of transport, and you saw the older people there. See, this is a great thing that people noticed in China, how the older people are looked after by the children. You'll see the young man cycling with his mother and father, the grandparents in the back of the bicycle. Not these days, it'd probably be a Sandlauncher or maybe it's a BMW or something. But there is this bonding, this looking after the family that you do notice in China, like that photograph there.
Okay, yes, actually that is totally new for you, right? To say it. So that is 2004 as well?
Wow, hasn't the skyline of Tianjin changed? You still reckon that some of those buildings are still there, but when you see the skyline of Tianjin now, even when you cross the Jiufengqiao, you've got this big new development, but there's all these new buildings. When you go looking around towards the St. Regis Hotel, as you come round that way, you're seeing the new towers, the new landscape of Tianjin rising.
Yes.
But it has changed. It's changed a lot.
A lot. Is that 2004? Is that your first time to come to Tianjin?
No, I came here very briefly in 1996.
Oh, that's your first time.
Yeah, for
wow,
one day. But what we saw in 1996, I was actually on a delegation, and we were taken to see the TEDA, Tianjin Economic Development Area, in the Binhaiyu area, about the early stages, the planning, the concept that we're having to create this new economic zone there.
Yes.
And so this was, at that time, this was very much, the focus of Tianjin, but they did bring us back. And they showed us some of a little bit around the High He, which I would rather have been in the old area. You know me, I just love being in the historic areas.
Yeah, so you've been here for at 2004. So what about the other time? Besides you went back to the Beijing, and how long you been not come to Tianjin, and what happened when you come to Tianjin again?
Oh, when I came back last year. I came in February last year.
So 2017?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember arriving at, well, actually, to be honest, I was here, I forgot to say, I was here in 2008. I missed that one out, I forgot to mention it.
That's Olympic Games,
That's
right?
That's right. And what happened between Beijing and Tianjin in 2008?
Got the bullet train.
The bullet train.
Oh,
and I came on when they just started the new train service from Beijing South to Tianjin.
Yeah.
350 kilometers an hour. Vroom. And it took 29 minutes.
Why 29 minutes?
Because Tianjin was going to be part of the 29th Olympic Games.
Oh,
So they actually timed the trains to run in 29 minutes. Now they're a little bit slower. They don't take now maybe 31 minutes or a bit more, but it's still a great service. Great. I mean, you've enough time to have a coffee. If you get a coffee when you're leaving Beijing 9, Beijing South, by the time you finish your coffee, you've arrived in Tianjin.
Yes, very soon.
But you asked me about when I came last year, 2017. I came out of the railway station and I found all the area had been landscaped outside, get the big Millennium Clock. And I remember coming and sitting beside the High He. There was the old Jiufeng Bridge. But I just looked at the skyline and thought, Tianjin has really, really changed. Landscaped, the river all made into a great big park along the river. And at night time, all the bridges across the river were all lit up with coloured lights. It was really beautiful.
Okay, so let's back to 3. How about let's have a little break and let's back to 3, please.
我们这位嘉宾不愧是 BBC 的知名记者出身啊，确实刚才的信息量有点大。现在呢，我来帮大家归纳一下。 首先呢，他们从老布在北京这个栏目谈起。布鲁斯呢，在北京就是做了12年这个栏目。他最记忆深刻的呢，就是有一位夫妇，他们用摩托车环游了中国，这个对他来说就非常有意思，他觉得特别的印象深刻。后来呢，大家相信看过刚才的照片，也能知道我们嘉宾的另外一种身份了吧？就是一位很有名的一位摄影师，他呢就是习惯用自己的相机，带着自己的相机走遍各个地方。同时呢，他还给我们带来了一些他拍过的照片，就是关于天津的一些照片。然后呢，他也是带我们回顾了天津的一些景点，然后包括一些天津眼啊，还有一些解放桥。然后同时他特别印象深刻呢，就是天津人在冬天喜欢在冰上进行钓鱼，这也是他第一次看见在海河上进行钓鱼，他觉得特别的有意思。然后呢，同时他跟我们分享了一些就是关于古文化街的一些照片，在那里我们可以看到也是在冬天。但是大家呢都是，虽然哈着一些热气呢，也是在排队啊，在一些观光啊，所以他这些呢也是很印象深刻。同时呢，在我们的刚才的照片里呢，也能看到一些关于一些茶汤啊，一些绿豆焖子，包括一些麻花，就是他也很耐心的站在那里看了一些麻花的做法。这对于我们也能发现老布真的是很热爱天津。后来呢，我们也看了一些老照片，他也给我们详细的介绍了一下大悲院。他对那里最印象深刻的呢，就是一些葫芦，所以呢，他觉得那里也是非常有趣。后来呢，我们也是根据我们的视频回顾了一下，就是我们的主持人和嘉宾在我们解放桥上做了一些探讨。现在呢，我来带大家看一下网友的评论。我们的网友都说，到冬天海河上确实有不少人钓鱼，不过个人觉得很不安全，所以以后大家也要避免这些行为。也有网友说就觉得很神奇呀，有一地久天长这首歌原来和苏格兰还有一些渊源，不看咱们的直播还真的不知道。还有一些网友就是说到老布一定拍过很多天津的美景。不知道他们接下来又会给我们带来什么有趣的话题呢？接下来让我们把时间交还给Vivian。
Welcome back to our show, and I really love your tie.
Vivian, look closely.
Yes.
Look at the colours. What's this colour represent? The red and the yellow. What's that represent?
I'm sorry.
It's Sugalan, Zhongguo.
Oh.
Right? So you've got, look, you see, there's the colour of Scotland, the white and the blue, but there's the colour. This is actually what you call tartan, Tartan. A-R-T-A-N. Tartan. Tartan is a kind of Scottish way of creating, fabric or cloth like this, the crisscross like this. But what this tie incorporates is the two countries. This is a friendship tie, Pengyo. Pengyo, Zhongguo, Sugalan. With there is China, and there is Scotland. Oh. So you see, it's representing the friendship between our two countries. And last week, for example, Vivian, you know that in Beijing, I was at meetings where Scotland's First Minister was here in China with friendship between our countries. Many Chinese people were there, and we're celebrating this friendship, this love that exists between Scotland and China, with people like Eric Liddell, for example,
yes.
Robert Burns, and the Sugalan Zhongguo tie.
Yes, so it's lovely. Actually, I wish you could wear the kilt. Is that called kilt?
Well, you're right in saying the kilt, but how many times, Vivian, in China, when I tell people, yeah, the kilt, but I tell people that are come from Scotland, or as we say, Sugalan, Washer or Sugalan, we're in, Sugalan, that's where the men wear skirts.
I thought it's the skirt, no.
You said that to me at the beginning.
Yeah.
I said, no, Vivian, no. It's a kilt.
Oh, kilt.
A kilt. But Chinese people, when the Chinese people come, particularly to Edinburgh, they love to go to the castle and photograph the Scottish soldiers wearing the kilt.
Oh.
And people playing the bagpipe. you know the bagpipe, the very traditional. But I think you had a photograph of people playing the bagpipe.
Yeah.
And this is a very traditional Scottish instrument. And funnily enough, last week when Scotland's First Minister came, we had a reception in a hotel in Beijing. and there was a Chinese man who was dressed in the kilt, the full Scottish, and he was playing the bagpipes.
Oh, really? It's a
And
Chinese guy.
he was Chinese, and he played the bagpipes, and Scotland's First Minister with Chinese officials came walking in behind the man playing the bagpipe. We were all clapping, and you know, it was beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's our way to show the welcome, right?
Yeah, you can see there in the photograph, Vivian, you see that the white and the blue, that's the Scottish, you know, the Scottish flag. The first flag you've got there is what's called the Union Jack, that's the British flag. And when you look at the British flag, you can see the different elements there that include Scotland, right? But, you know, we try to incorporate this, you know, to show the friendship between our countries,
Okay.
our lands.
You know, Suri prepared us a small video about that cute, so let's have a look.
Great.
Thank you, Dennis. And now Don Sage will sing "O Ca-"
Okay. So how many times you been in Tianjin? Can you count it?
Well, 1, 2, 3, it was 4, this is now 4 times in a year, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 times at least
Oh,
7,
okay. At
maybe
least
more,
7
maybe
times.
more.
So if you know you got the chance to find a place to have an apartment or house in Tianjin, where is it gonna be? Where will you select?
If I was to look for an apartment in Beijing, I would,
Tianjin.
you, correct me,
Yeah.
if I was to look for an apartment in Tianjin, I would be looking for somewhere near the Jiufengqiao.
Oh.
To me, that's the heart of Tianjin. That's the area that particularly I love, around the Haihe River. But, as you know, I live in Beijing, and it's only 30 minutes to come between the two cities.
Yes.
But I would quite like to have a second home in Tianjin. Because every time I come here, you know, when I go back to Beijing, friends will say, "Chris, you look so relaxed, you look so great. Where have you been?" I say, "Tianjin." And they say, "Oh, I've never been to Tianjin." I say, "Why not?" Never.
Wow.
Never.
Just 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Right?
I said it's only 30 minutes in the train, you know, and you can get down there and you step right off into history from the Tianjin railway station, and you know I'm sitting there telling them about the attractions. 'Cause
Yeah.
people say, "I never really thought of going to Tianjin," but
Why?
I think because it's so near, it's so close.
so close.
Like for example, you know, you think, well, we could go to Guangzhou or go to Shanghai, but people think, you know, Tianjin, it's just like a neighbour, it's so close. But to me, there's a lot of attractions that you can get here when you come. And I think what makes Tianjin special is that you've got the river, the Haihe.
Oh, okay.
Because when you come off the train, particularly now in the summer months, you've got the boats going up and down, and at night time the boats are all lit up with lights. And there is a kind of beauty about that. But, you know, for example, you saw the article that I wrote for the China Daily, Zhongguo Ribao, about Tianjin. And, you know, people read it and they said, "We didn't realise there's so much history, so much beauty." And say, "We must go and have a look." And some people who were old Tianjinren, you know, they used to live in Tianjin but now live in America, and they say, "Oh, it's great to see our home city." Because, you know, many people study at Nankai University, for example, and they've moved, you know, to other countries. But when you mention Tianjin, suddenly the happy times of the earlier days come back.
Yes. Okay, so is there still some connection from the Scotland and Tianjin? Like the
Yes. Well, if you go to Nankai University, for example, there is a graduate school there. There is, you know, a school where you can follow the work that's in collaboration with the University of Glasgow. There's a very strong relationship between the University of Glasgow and Nankai University. And there's also through what we call the Confucius Institute, for example, people from Tianjin have come to work in Scotland. Or I met, there was a high school quite near the University of Glasgow where they actually taught Chinese. You know, they had Chinese is now in the curriculum in Scotland. And there were teachers from Tianjin in the high school. And you know, I got the teachers from Tianjin singing the song Moli Hua. Remember the famous Moli Hua, Jasmine Flower? Oh, Moli, I can't do it. You can do it better than me.
Yeah, and the three finance the map, you know, map of Scotland, right? And she also found us your hometown. We can find it on the map. So it's the next page. Yes, see?
My hometown.
Yeah.
What's my hometown?
See?
Glasgow. How do you say it in Chinese? Glasgow.
Yeah, Glasgow.
Glasgow. Because you know, when you say Edinburgh, it's Edinburgh, Edinburgh. But Glasgow. But the funny one is Sugarland. Sugarland, Scotland, Sugarland. And you know, when I came to China at the beginning, people would say, you know, Nagwaranma, what country from? And they say, oh, Yingguo, because Yingguo sounds like England, but Yingguo means Britain. I say, no, Washer, Sugarland ring, where the men wear the skirt. But,
cute, we remember.
But many Chinese, today, many Chinese go to my home city, Glasgow, to go to the universities. Because the University of Glasgow, Strathclyde University, they're very famous in China. Chinese people love to go because particularly Glasgow, the University of Glasgow, is very, very fine buildings, a lot of history. And, you know, again, they've got a lot of connections with China, particularly here with Tianjin.
Okay, how about there's the House of Press compared to Tianjin?
The house prices?
Yeah.
Why do Chinese people always ask this? Well, the house prices in Britain, outside of London, are much cheaper generally than what you pay in China. Generally.
All right.
You
so
know.
What about what happens in your hometown?
I actually live in the village. They'd be surprised you. In China, people want to move from the villages to the city, but in Scotland, in big cities like Glasgow, people would move from the city to live in the village.
So is that because the village has a more, you know, the natural environment?
Yeah, much more beautiful. The villages are not farming villages. In China, the farmers live in a village. In Scotland, it's people who live in a village and commute into the city.
Okay.
So I got a house in a village a long, long time. You know, that's when I was young. But now, of course, I live in China. But I grew up in a village, you know, near Glasgow. And it was very beautiful, but it's very quiet.
All right.
Very quiet, you know, unlike Tianjin.
Okay. Okay, so let's, I think that is the end part of our show. So let's back to Suri for the last time.
不知道刚刚大家听懂了没有啦？我们的嘉宾说他的领带呢有一些小心机，就是说这个是代表了苏格兰和中国，确实呢是非常有意义的。后来呢，我们的主持人和嘉宾又提到了一种苏格兰男性的一种传统服装，叫做 kilt， 就是我们平常常见的那个苏格兰裙。刚才呢我们有一些视频带大家看了一下，确实呢这个对我们可能中国人来说都并不陌生，大家一想起这个呢就会想起来苏格兰情调，所以呢这个对于大家来说呢还是非常熟悉的。然后后来呢他们又谈到了我们布鲁斯的一个家乡，就是在苏格兰的格拉斯哥，确实也是个非常美的一个地方。在最后呢他们又谈论了一下房价的对比。我们的嘉宾说到呢，在英国啊、伦敦或者是在苏格兰，这个房价呢，确实相比于中国来说要便宜很多。这个差别呢，确实是一个惊奇的对比，也是无法想象的一个数字。接下来呢，我们来看一下网友的评论。然后我们的网友都说到，我们的嘉宾真的是非常熟悉天津啊，然后啊还有一些嘉宾就是一些网友也是问嘉宾觉得天津这个城市的感受如何。现在呢我来挑选一个问题来问我们的嘉宾，就是说也有网友问到我们的嘉宾以后会一直留在中国吗？
Wow, this is a very interesting question that I want to ask you as well. There's one question from the audience that he wants to know that will you be in China forever?
I've said this many times, you know, how to say, 我是老中国人.
Oh.
Is that correct? I'm an old Chinaman, you know. China's been good to me. I fell in love with China, you know, in 1987. You know, I really did. Going the train from Beijing to Guangzhou, looking out, I really fell for China. And I came back to live in China in 1992 in Guangzhou. And all the experiences I've had in China have mostly been good. Mostly, you know, friendship, fun. And I still find in Tianjin a lot to love, a lot of fun they can have. And now I'm traveling many parts of China, and I find this, again, this, you know, relationship, this love. People walking up in the street, shaking hands. Yep, it happens in Tianjin. Or an old man beside the Hai He River who came up to me and asked me, where are you from? I said, oh, Scotland, Sugarland. Ah, Sugarland. Lido. He remembered Eric Lido. And he shook hands with me. Scotland. Yeah, he said, you're welcome in Tianjin.
Okay.
But no, I don't have, you know, I've made my home in China. And I would miss China very, very much if I was to leave.
OK， Bruce 呢，他并没有特别直接的来回复这个问题。那他也说到，如果他哪天离开中国的话呢，他肯定会非常非常想念这个国家。他也是提到了1992年的时候呢，他去到了广州那个城市。那然后呢，他也会提到在天津，在马路上的时候呢，就会有人过来跟他来握手啊。非常的友好，所以说他还是提到了天津的这个城市的这种生活的氛围。Okay, I think this is our live show for today. So it's my great pleasure to have you with us for this 45 minutes. Okay, so guys, I will see you next Wednesday. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, Vivian. Bye bye. 再见。